Good morning, my fellow YouTubers, young men and women around the world. I hope this video finds a young, talented individual who's getting out into the world and making a change in the world. Or even if you're an older individual in your 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s, may this video find you well. Today I'm going to give you guys some information and some feedback that may help you along the walks of life and help you navigate the space and realm of work. We're going to talk about work a little bit. So I'm currently dealing with a certain battle with a corporation that I used to work for. I don't have any affiliation with them anymore. I don't respect what they do. I don't respect their management. I don't respect their business ethics, and I will be pursuing legal matters in court with them. Now, I'm not going to disclose the name of this company, but I will say it was a former company I used to work with. Now, I want to teach anyone that's young out there a little bit about being diligent in their process of examining work contracts, understanding what you're entitled to and your human rights before you assess employment. A lot of the time, for individuals that are much like myself, we base our work off of passion, enthusiasm, right? Now, in today's current market, unfortunately, enthusiasm, charisma, and talent, or you could say talent, or just spontaneous energy, right, is very easily manipulated and is actually used against you. Corporations pry and target people that don't make good decisions, right? So for you, the young person out there who wants to build this business with talent and passion, and you're enthusiastic and you're very excited about what you do, and you're very motivated to make a change, and you have all of this energy, my biggest advice for you is, it's great to have these things, but before you do, you want to make sure you look at all contracts, all things you sign, and you're well prepared to work for a company and what they're really asking from you and for you, right? And what they were doing for you, and what the contract instates on both sides. There is a lot of corporations that are playing this game of manipulating the bottom line so that they can make their budget and their dollars add up at the end of the month, right? This is through tax evasion, through employee theft, right? It's stealing from their employees, right? And this is something that you need to be aware of as a worker in the West, right? Or in the East, or just an employee. You have human rights, right? You have every right to take some time to look into a legal matter before responding. And this is super important. Signing a contract is a very serious order, and you need to take that very seriously. A contract isn't just a, yay, I'm going to get paid soon, or type of ordeal, right? It isn't something to celebrate, really. It's one step in the right direction. But if you're signing your soul away, you want to make sure that what you're signing for has incredible benefit for you, and that you're aware of what you are signing, right? You don't want to sign something that has a dotted line or some type of information on it that you weren't prepared to fight for or prepare for in a case of, let's say, termination. Let's say your human rights being signed away, right? And the company that I'm working for actually has a lot of breaks in their contract regarding this, and and this is a lesson that I had to learn. So for anybody out there who's entering the workforce, right, and you don't have a background in law, right, or you didn't have parents that could have taught you this, right, learn this from somebody who is going through it right now. Be really smart about, and be very intelligent about what you're signing and what you're signing for, and what you have and can do in terms of your human rights to work on plans in terms of investigation, right? You can work on plans of discretion. You can work on your ability to be more patient and read out the process. These are all things that you can do before you sign a contract, right? Remember, when you're signing a contract, there's two parties that benefit from it. And you need to ask yourself, what negotiation terms did I have in place before I made this negotiation with this corporation? And what am I really getting? A lot of people make quick decisions based off of poor financial standing and poor financial decisions, right? And just a low income status. I've been there. And because of that, I've lowballed my career a lot, and I will never do that again. With the education and expertise that I'm bringing to the table now, I'm demanding a higher income wherever I go, because I have an immense amount of experience, repertoire, and a lot of knowledge on the topics that I'm studying in, and I'm going to school to garner an even greater, I'd say, resume on what I'm studying. So before you go in, you want to make sure that what you're negotiating for is set on clear terms, right? Contracts are manipulated in today's day more than ever before. Big corporations are looking to not only demonize but belittle their employees on a regular basis through long legislative contracts that take intense amount of time to read over and review. So it's your job as the employee, the person coming from the bottom, to really assess what it is what it takes to sustain this contract, and what happens in the best case scenario and what happens in the worst case scenario, right? And the last thing that I want to give you guys as information, when we're getting into the workforce, is use passion to get you into the door, but understand politics, the work culture, and the history of employees prior to working somewhere. And that's a little bit of information regarding just how to survive well in a workplace, right? And talking specifically about the place that I used to work at, they had a terrible history of retaining employees. I did not realize this, right? I did a lot of research, and a lot of their employees have left, quit, or gotten fired, and they're being pursued in court for a reason that this corporation will lose a lot of money for themselves, illegitimate practice, and coerced contract signs, right? Now, my advice for anyone young out there, right, out of everything that I've mentioned today, is don't belittle yourself. Have strong self-esteem and self-worth when you're going to a workplace and when you're going into an environment and you're seeking employment. If you don't have experience in an industry, then it is valid to get an internship and learn your way and volunteer and be humble and learn from those that are better than you. But if you're going into an environment where you're abusing your body every single day and you're working tirelessly, right, then you need to figure out what your human rights are, right? You need to figure out what it is that you can actually, what you are getting paid for, where your paycheck is going, what your rights are in terms of hours worked, and if you've been given enough time to prepare for this vocation or this skill, right, that you're about to walk into. So these guys, I'm gonna label this video knowing your rights. Guys, I know when you're young, like, this conversation is like, yo, dude, just some boomer or some Gen Z, some older dude that's talking about like old topics. Dude, me personally, I would hate listening to somebody like me giving advice at a younger age. But yo, I'm saying this from a place of like actually caring about people that come from low-income homes, fatherless homes, or just like you don't have this information. You will be preyed on by individuals that have set this game up for low-income earners to win. In the Bible, it talks about this really good verse: my people perish for a lack of knowledge, right? And that is very true when it comes to all things. People perish because they lack the knowledge. So as I'm going to start to move my YouTube channel towards more understanding the knowledge of the world and understanding the knowledge, not even just with training, but with life, the insight that I want to give you guys is that you wake up to these times, right, that we're in, and understand how companies are manipulating you, and then understand how you can gain the knowledge to take a step ahead in a game where the odds may be stacked against you and not in your favor. May this help you in your journey.